Good day. Here are today's top stories from the Pna Headlines. Here's the good news for employees in the government sector. Qualified employees across the country will begin receiving their mid-year bonus starting today, May 15. The Department of Budget and Management said the incentive is part of the government's regular compensation package for qualified personnel. The bonus covers all civilian personnel, including those in regular, casual, and contractual positions, as well as uniformed personnel. Employees must have been in government service for 4 months from July 1 of the preceding year up to May 15 of the current year. They must still be in government service as of May 15 and must have received at least a satisfactory performance rating. Part-time employees will receive the bonus on a pro rata basis. Employees with pending cases and who would be found guilty must return their bonus for the year the final verdict is made, except when the penalty is limited to a reprimand. Employees of local government units may get their mid-year bonus based on the decision of their respective local councils and the availability of funds. The government of Saudi Arabia is granting amnesty for undocumented overseas Filipino workers, particularly runaway domestic workers. The Department of Migrant Workers said the government is giving illegal workers referred to as hurub 6 months to regularize their status. A hurub is ineligible for legal rights, salary dues, and service benefits, among others. The grace period is effective May 11 up to November 10. During this period, workers can secure a new sponsor without paying immigration fines depending on the length of overstay. DMW Undersecretary for Middle East and African Affairs Jainal Rasul Jr. said the Saudi government's initiative would help undocumented Filipino workers to legally correct their status and avoid hiding. Rasul previously led a labor mission to Saudi Arabia from May 1 to 10 to consult with officials of the Ministry of Human Resources and Social Development and Philippine government posts across Riyadh, Buraida, Al-Khobar, and Jeddah. The Philippines and Germany have signed an arrangement to push bilateral defense cooperation. Defense Secretary Gilberto Chodoro Jr. and German Federal Defense Minister Boris Pistorius signed the Agreement on Defense Cooperation in Berlin on Wednesday. According to the Department of National Defense, the arrangement builds on the 1974 Administrative Agreement, allowing armed forces of the Philippines personnel to train and study in Germany. It also expands cooperation between the two countries in the fields of cybersecurity, defense, armaments and logistics, and United Nations peacekeeping, among others. After the signing, Chodoro and Pistorius convened the third Philippines-Germany Security and Defense Staff talks to review and specify joint activities under the arrangement for next year. Chodoro was in Berlin to attend the UN Peacekeeping Ministerial Meeting to reaffirm Manila's commitment to global peace and security as a founding member country and a true contributing nation of the UN. The DND chief expressed the Philippines' readiness to play an active role in addressing global security concerns in line with the country's bid for a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council. The Philippine American Educational Foundation, or PAEF, and the Aboitiz Foundation Incorporated, or AFI, have signed a Memorandum of Understanding to enhance Filipino talent in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or STEM. The agreement allows both parties to collaborate on scholarships, exchanges, and programs with U.S. institutions. PAEF Executive Director Julio Amador III said the initiative would help Filipino scholars get better STEM-related careers, particularly in energy, sustainability, and environmental policy. Aboitiz Group of Companies President and CEO Sabine Aboitiz, meanwhile, said investment in education is an investment in the next generation of skilled and knowledgeable Filipino leaders. U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines, Mary Kay Carlson, who witnessed the signing, said this partnership allows scholars to become future leaders that would lay the foundation of long-term economic prosperity for the Philippines and the U.S. Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Assistant Secretary Jose Victor Chan Gonzaga said the deal addresses some of the key priority areas of the national government. In our business news, the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, or PAGCOR, has remitted 12.67 billion pesos in dividends to the state coffers. PAGCOR said the amount turned over to the Bureau of Treasury represents 75% of its net income for 2024, which is over the mandatory 50% dividend remittance. Last year, the state gaming firm posted a net income of 16.76 billion pesos, up by 146% from 6.81 billion in 2023. PAGCOR Chair and CEO Alejandro Tenco said that of the remitted amount, 8.45 billion pesos represents the 50% government share in its net income, while the remaining 4.22 billion pesos represents the 25% advance for future obligations. Deputy National Treasurer Eduardo Marino said that PAGCOR's contribution will help strengthen the government's capacity to fund programs in infrastructure, healthcare, education, and social services. Meanwhile, SM Prime Holdings Incorporated plans to install at least 50 more electric vehicle charging stations across its malls and offices this year. The additional stations will complement the 131 charging stations deployed across the country as of the first quarter of 2025. SM Prime will also install EVE stations in residential communities and leisure estates. SM Prime President Jeffrey Lim said expanding its charging network helps in enabling Filipinos to adopt greener habits. The initiative also supports the government's vision for an inclusive and future-ready EV ecosystem. The Department of Energy is looking to increase EVs to 25% of the passenger vehicle market by 2030 and 50% by 2040. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the PNA Headlines. For more news updates, visit our website, pna.gov.ph, or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The PNA Headlines is also streamed via the Servicio Facebook page. You may also watch the PNA Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account and via the News and Information Bureau website under PNA News. I'm Wilnard Barcelona. This is the PNA Headlines, bringing stories that unite the nation.